I know exactly what you're looking for on a Sunday afternoon. Relationship math. This came because my husband and I just had one of those dumb, annoying conflicts about where we were standing in the bathroom. And it was so illustrative of what happens and what happens between two people and why it is that there is this crazy relationship math, that I'll call it, that happens when there's a third person or a third entity present, right? This is a variation of the 1 + 1 = 3, right? So when a person is in, or two people are in that like me versus you moment, just like my husband and I were, there is no third, right? Because we've backed away from each other. So the overlapping part of the rings, like right there, it's actually, we've separated. It's almost like it's not there, even though it is. And so when a third person is involved, right, a third force, they can actually do the things that I couldn't do in that conversation, which was, for example, can you just say that differently? Can you just say it the way you're telling me you intended it, because then the conversation will be over and we'll both feel good. Nope, that doesn't work, because the other person just takes offense at that, because that just seems like another strategy to win. And so it really requires, like a referee, a third person, a neutral party, to be the one who delivers those kinds of interventions, which can be really, really simple. But somehow when the two people are focusing away from each other, right? So they're no longer like at odds, but they're actually allowing that third force to intervene. It allows them in a strange way to create and recreate that third again, that part of the Venn diagram. And so I've experienced it many times where someone would just say, hey, Lori, can you say what you really mean there instead of, lead with your emotion? And it's game changing. And actually that is a really perfect example of bridge people interventions, right? So when I keep talking about something that happens in that space, or the way we bridge people operate in that space, one very simple thing that we do is ask someone to restate what they're saying. And it could be for lots of different reasons. 1, because it wasn't heard, or 2, because it was delivered in a way they didn't intend, or 3, because the other person just didn't understand. And all those things, another party, like a referee, can see the play that just happened and see what the players themselves can't see. And that's one very tiny thing as that's part of the technology that is deployed by bridge people in the space of relationship. And imagine how complicated that gets when you're dealing with multiple people, groups of people who are on teams, who may even have legacies, historical legacies of conflict with each other. Not conflict, but combat with each other. It gets very, very complicated. But relationship math somehow tells us that the third force creates relationship when people have gone back into their separate rings. You know what I mean? This thing is so profound. It has so much to tell us. Happy Sunday.